How are we doing? I hope everybody's really well. Looking after yourselves. Now, I have the Irish Mail on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025 story here of interest to us, I would say. Rise of the far right. They're still pushing this, you see. Far right politician who spread gang rape story online faces prosecution. And they've picked a dodgy shot of far right Ireland First Leader Derek Blighe, and they must have freeze-framed a shot from one of his videos to make him look like that, because when the lives are out for you from the mainstream media, they're not going to pick a nice handsome shot, they're going to pick a shot like that. Now, the mini headline here, Ireland First Leader Derek Blighe is the first to feel force of Garda clampdown on disinformation. So a lot of these stories are setups. They're setups for us to trip over, which is why I've been pointing quite a few of them out and saying, watch out, these are traps. Don't fall for them, or be very careful in how you report on them. I always say just quote back. Keep quoting back and ask questions around it. That will protect you to a certain extent. Don't make any statements. If you start making statements, you've fallen into the trap. Even Brigitte Macron said, don't make any statements. Don't say she's her brother. Just ask questions. Say, isn't that interesting? Ask the questions around, because she's not her brother anyway. That's a trap. Which is why I was telling you about it. So there's loads of traps laid. January 2025, Connolly train station in Dublin had to be evacuated after reports that Gardaí had seized a suspected firearm from a man, sparked a spate of false claims online. Far-right agitators instantly linked the incident to foreign nationals or asylum seekers, but it soon emerged the man who was arrested was an Irish citizen. So that was one such trap. A lot of drama there in Connolly Station. We've got a major problem in that we're always going, is this real? Is this set? Is this faked? So we have counterintelligence who tell us real terrorism events are false flags, and people repeat that. Then we actually have these fake events set up to entrap and ensnare people. So I would say that was one. I mean, I don't believe that one, because there was just too much drama around it. It stank. And now here it is, here's the trap. And because Derek reported on it, and we all did, I put something out going, well, what's going on? Something's going on. But you have to be careful around, just say, what's going on? What is this? And, could it be? Ask questions. That's all you can do until you get the proper information. Now, the Gardaí are on purpose allowing a vacuum. They're allowing the speculation to get out of hand. And that's where they trap the people. So that is where we must be very careful. And November 2024, failed general election. They call you failed general election candidate. What they're really saying there is this guy has the potential to actually get elected. So we need to call him failed. Yeah, he actually has the potential to get in there. So we're going to try and trip him up now. Derek Blighe posted a message online claiming, without providing any evidence, that a 15-year-old boy had been raped by a gang of Roma men. Now, that was the Ballindine story. If we recall, the locals had come out and protest, and they were really annoyed. And there was an incident. Again, the Gardaí were not reporting it properly. We weren't getting the information. A vacuum was allowed to be created, speculation, all of that, and then false information planted on purpose, which was repeated. And then it's like, oh, well, you got your facts wrong, right? But when they post something like that, when they publish something like that, it's like, oh, nothing happened. Well, nothing happened. No. Maybe just the bit about the Roma men. But that was certainly put out there, as Derek Blighe said in the piece. That was put out. That information was put. But who put it out there? Who did that? Could it have been planted there on purpose to misdirect people? Now, October 2024, after a car was hijacked with a baby inside, far-right figures falsely and without any evidence claimed that a foreigner was responsible for the incident. One false comment, which finished with the hashtag close our borders, was widely shared online. Okay, but they're not blaming Derek for that. A Dublin man was later charged in connection with the incident. So again, I remember that. I don't know if that was a setup or there are still stories that just happen, all right? That could have been such one. But again, we weren't getting the information in a efficient manner that you'd expect from the Garda press office. It was allowed to build up. People, of course, are asking questions, because we're looking at stories from all over Europe where we're seeing people getting stabbed. Oh, it's always random. It's never terrorism, and it's never jihad. And of course, people are tetchy and they're asking questions, and there is a spike in crime connected to immigration. So of course they're going to ask these questions, because we have the likes of this one here, who's let in all these Foreign men, unvetted, a lot of them criminals, and they are causing chaos because we can see it coming through our court system. We're not blind and we're not stupid. But they want to shut this down, and this is how they're doing it. No, next one. So October 24th, the same month, another post circulated online on social media that 2 foreign men grabbed a child in North Dublin. The post also claimed residents had made this known to the Gardaí, whom they accused of failing to respond to the incident. Gardaí later had to clarify that they had no information to substantiate such claims. Well, why didn't they? Well, who's making it up? Who's making up the stories? So not Derek's fault, is it? You know, but yeah, he's getting blamed for all of this, the spreading of fake news. But they're not saying Derek did this, but they've put a picture of him. So it's like he's spreading all this fake news. But we've been watching these stories online as well. And of course, we are asking questions. We've got all these men in the country. What are they doing here? And how come they haven't been vetted properly? And we know right well they haven't been vetted properly. Despite them telling us they're all fine. No, they're all grand. We're just helping out. Oh, because they're running from wars. What wars? Now, August 24, Gardaí were forced to issue a statement after far-right activists tried to blame the sudden death of a man following a medical episode on asylum seekers. All right. The man in his 30s became seriously ill near the Sagart Lewis terminus. Several online accounts on TikTok and X posted videos of Gardaí at the scene at Fortunestown Lane, accompanied by false claims that asylum seekers were involved in the man's death. Gardaí categorically rejected the claims. All right, well, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to clarify things. That's their job, right? There's always going to be speculation. They have to clarify it. They're supposed to come out and tell us the information. You know, this whole thing of like, gotcha, because people are speculating. Of course they're going to speculate. We've got all these men in the country. We don't know where they come from. We don't know what kind of criminal past they're running from. A lot of them. So, of course, there's going to be questions. It's up to the Gardaí to clarify these things without making a big deal of it, without having to come and knock at somebody's door when the kids are in bed. It's outrageous and disgusting. September 2024, Gardaí were again forced to publicly correct disinformation spread by far-right social media accounts, okay, not Derek, just accounts, about an incident at a school in Dublin. Gardaí urged people to verify information after far-right figures falsely claimed a knife-wielding migrant was involved in the incident. I think he was. I think if we look at it, yeah, he might have been first generation, but sorry, what was he doing with a knife in school? So again, now they're reframing the story. They're reframing everything. And this is where you just get disgusted with the mainstream media, because they know exactly what they're doing. And I think people are beginning to see through all of this. You know, I think, if anything, this will make Derek more popular. He has to watch what he's going to say here, because they're coming for him. Like saying things like Helen McEntee should go back into the kitchen. Not great. Not great. But, you know, he holds his own here. He said he's not going to give a statement. Apparently they're putting some kind of file together for the DPP. But people need to be very aware of what they are doing. We saw what they did with Gript, with Jana London, with Philip Dwyer. We saw how counterintelligence then wants to say, oh, you know, this is all part of the setup. No. Counterintelligence will tell us that real events are false flags, that real victims are crisis actors. Then there are the stories that they plant for us to trip us up and catch us out. So we've got to know the difference. You know, we have to know the difference, which is why I was going on about Brigitte Macron. That's a trap. You start saying that she is her brother. You can if you want. I'm not going to stop you. Millions of people are doing it, but you're wrong. And it's a trap. And, you know, I know the media inside out. I know the games they play. It's particularly bad now. It's, you know, it's shocking what they're at, what this one's at. And I just think we need to be extra aware, extra vigilant. Good luck to Derek. We need to stick by these people and help. You know, we've got to help with these stories, that when they are planted, that we can say, look, just be careful how you post on them, how you publish your stories around them, ask questions, quote them, and make sure, you know, that if they come after you, that they're only going to be quoting themselves back. You know, that's how careful you have to be with it, really and truly. But people are free to do what they want. But this is what we're up against. Very interesting. All right, have a good one. Take care.